In the room. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning.
I'd like to welcome you to our first panel of the day. My name is Tabitha Namone. I'm a co-founder at Waape, and I'm passionate about young people and technologies. So today's panel, we're going to be talking about writing a portfolio, a profile, winning profile. And I'd like our guest today to introduce himself. I do not want to butcher your name. I'm a fan of the children's show called Sophia the First. How many of us watched Sophia the First? You see. So when Sophia was had just gone into the palace, she used to call the palace wizard Sedrick, and he said, "No, my name is Sedrick," and she kept on calling him Sedrick. I don't want to be that person today, so please.
Okay, thank you so much, Tabitha. Tabitha or Tabitha. Um, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My name is Sedrick Otolo, Otolo, but then most people prefer to call me Sedu. And I'm going to spend maybe 2-3 minutes just introducing myself. I come from Lira. How many people have ever been to Lira? If you know you've ever been to Lira, okay. How many people are from Lira? Okay, how many people would respond if I say that Itienino? Now you're there just answering within your thoughts. So I'm a software engineer. Right now I'm majoring into artificial intelligence and machine learning. I am the team lead and co-founder of a company called Kakebe Technologies, which is a software company based in the north. I can say we don't have more than 3 software companies in the north. So we are on the lead of software and all other ICT programs up there. And then I am also a writer. I love writing. I have 3 books. I have 2 rather, and my third book is coming up in the next 2 weeks, which will be clap. Yeah, it's the first book was called Being Victorious. The second book was Building Great Character. It's a self-help book, and then the last that I've written is the second edition that will be launched on the 10th of this month, next month rather, and then on the 20th we shall have a book launch dinner. So you would love to join me for the dinner. Then also when she was talking about portfolio profiling, for the past 2 years, 2-3 years, I've been so much on the many things on the media, you know, in terms of ICT innovations. I really feel humbled and blessed to be able to share together with us. And every time I get to all the microphone, there is one word that always I talk about so much that I will say something small about is the word that says seize your moment. So that's little about me. I love people. I'm a very happy person, as you can see. I love smiling. And I made 25 a few months ago. Clap for that. It's not easy to be 25. Yeah. Thank you. So that's briefly about me. And just to wrap up, I was also listed among the top 40 under 40 by New Vision in film, which was something I didn't expect. I do mentorship. I speak on different occasions almost every weekend. Schools, institutions, and radios and podcasts. And I love speaking. I love to share words of inspiration since I came from a very bad background. So it's a pleasure for me always to share my story. Thank you.
All right. It's a pleasure having you here with us today, Sedrick. Today we'll be talking about building an outstanding profile. And it's a thing that many freelancers struggle with. There are so many freelancers on a myriad of platforms ranging from Waape to Fiverr. And we find that, and amongst many freelancers, they find that they do not really stand out amongst the people they are applying with or the people they are with on these very platforms.
Yeah.
I mean, you're a UX designer, you are good at your craft, but what is going to convince somebody that you are actually good at your craft? Why would they pick you over the next person? So, launching into our questions.
All right. Thank you so much, my friend. I don't want to pronounce
You
your
can
name wrong.
you could just say Tabby.
Oh, Tabby. Tabby,
Yeah.
that's better. Thank you so much, Tabby. I'm going to speak from my experience of what I have seen. And for quite a couple of years, as I said earlier on, I've been very so much in the face of so many people. And then most places I go to, there was a day I was having a discussion with one of my friends, and I told her I was invited for an event. I told her I am not going if you're not going with me because I don't want to feel lonely. Because I literally don't know anyone from there. And then she just told me a question that she asked me, Cedric, do you ever feel lonely? Is there any place you go to and someone doesn't know you at least? So I think that is why I'm here today. Now, my very first thing that I'm going to say is when you want to build a good profile, portfolio, and so on, the first thing I always tell people is value. So value is the only thing that people will always look out for because if you are a person of value, if you have value in everything that you do, you're going to realize that even the people who actually don't know you will seek to find you, understand, and know who you are. Let me give an example. Where is Natasha? Natasha. Natasha's right there. I had never met Natasha, but I keep following, I keep following her to the point that my first time meeting her was during the YCYE Chambers of Young Entrepreneurs,
Summit.
and I was supposed to travel back to Lira on Wednesday night. Then a friend of mine told me there is this event happening tomorrow and so on. And then these are the people who are going to be part of the panelists and speakers. When I heard that she was going to be there, I was like, I need to just go and take a picture with her. And for sure, I took a picture with her. I don't know if she remembers. Now, the reason as to why I used to follow her is because I used to see uniqueness in her. Now, when I talk about value, people will always want you simply because you don't dress out very nicely. Simply because you're not the best person with a haircut. I mean, I have really poor hairstyle, hair quality, but people, that's what the people will look for. The people who look for such qualities in you, I don't want to be rude, but I would say these are people who are just looking at the physical outlook of yourself. But then if you have a value that you attach to yourself, to the product that you even bring to people, you'll find that value will make you move steps higher and higher. I was talking to during the National Youth Gather that we had in Guru, and I was asked a question that how do you make it? What makes you stand out to interact with different ministers doing this and that and that? And I told them one thing that if someone doesn't find the importance or the relevance of being next to you, they will never be closer to you.
Okay.
If just let me bring this point before we ask this question. How many of you have any minister in Uganda? How many of you chat with them on WhatsApp? If you know any, just raise up your hands. If you know any minister in this country, one, two, don't be shy. Now, the reason as to why they have the capacity to save your number in their phones, it is because there is value in you. Without value, you stop being relevant. So anything that you do, the product that you create, or anything that you put yourself out there, first of all, make sure there is that unique value preposition about who you are to the community or to the people you serve.
All right. Thank you very much. So, from your point of view, what are the essential elements that every freelancer profile should include?
Well, number one, um, set up a brand for yourself. A brand simply is the image that you have outside there. How will people look at you? What is exactly you're doing? Because doing a lot more doesn't mean you're having a lot more done. If you, she said something about what, a jack of all what?
Trades.
A jack of all trades. I am someone who do a lot of things. I'm always up to so many things. So when you first define a brand, if someone had to think about something that reminds them of you, what would that be? Now that's your brand. That's your logo. That's your niche. Something. Then the second thing that I would say is just be authentic. Be authentic. Now, by being authentic, I mean that let people know exactly what you do. Be real to yourself, because the moment we try to jump in and not be authentic to ourselves, you will have a lot of things to explain, and then opportunities will always come and pass you by. Because, for example, I'll be very honest to you and tell you that I'm a developer, but I only do front end. Now, if my profile talks about back end, app developer or everything, there shall come a time that maybe they will bring me on the podium or on stage and ask me a question about the back end. You're going to lose it. So, first point, I'd say brand yourself. The second one is be authentic. Then the third point that I would say is be passionate. Be passionate. I love giving examples. We were organizing for a national youth gather, which was supposed to. Our main goal is to make sure that we visit at least all the 10 cities of this country to talk about ICT, how we can use ICT skills to reduce unemployment, or to see how do we bring leadership, innovation, and entrepreneurship using ICT. And then the idea came to me when I attended the chambers of young entrepreneurs. And I remember speaking there when they told us to ask a question. This is what I said. I said, this event is very nice, very cool, and so awesome. But the problem is, it's only in Kampala. How about other places? How about other places outside this country? I mean, how can we help them? So that is when the idea of having this national youth gather came in my mind. Now, I had all the privilege. I had, I have attention from so many people. When I talk to them that this is my plan, I want to have young people gather in this region. We have this discussion. Please, I need support. It might not be money, but I just need you to talk about what is going to happen. Or with your connection, just connect me. None of them did what I wanted them to do. So what I had to do, because of the passion, when you have passion, passion enables you to even do things that, even if there is no money, passion will always find a way to do something. Tabi, what I did, I went ahead, organized the event, set up the date, set up the time, and then we agreed that on this date we're doing this. We had a budget. We had a budget of some good amount of millions. But then when no money came in, 3-4 days, my brother here cut off festival delay. When no money came in, we had to get a loan. Not we, I had to get a loan. I said, I want this to happen irrespective of who is with me or who is not with me. We had a very successful event. Now, what I can say to that about passion, be passionate about your passion. If you're passionate about what you're passionate about, the people you interact with, your clients, the people you lead, will grow passion for working together with you.
Okay. Okay. So that being said from you, I'd like to steer the conversation back to freelancing as well. So amongst freelancers who you have worked with, you have interacted with a few platforms on which they are. Yes. And when you needed a freelancer for a particular task that you had or a particular gig you had, what were those unique skills that you were looking out for? And you, as somebody who was looking for this freelancer, how best do you think a freelancer should showcase their skills on their profiles without overwhelming the potential client? For example, like how your friend had all those things going on in his profile. but somebody can't exactly zero in on what exactly he does. So how do you believe someone should showcase their skills on their profile to avoid cluttering and overwhelming the person who is looking out for them?
Okay, first of all, I would love to send greetings from Bonnie. Bonnie Omara is one of the lead engineers for Ugandan satellite. Last night, I think he was driving back from work and he got stopped by thugs, and then he got an accident. His car is in a bad state. He's doing well, so he sends greetings to you. He was supposed to be here. So within my company, we have a space for young people to step in to come and work with us. But this is the criteria that I normally use to even fish out the people that works with Kakebe. We have never employed staff. What we do is we only rolled out we have only 2 or 3 people. We officially rolled out that we are looking for, if you want a job, please come apply and all those stuff. But me, I always look at how passionate is someone who wants to work. Normally, when we give spaces for internship, that is the testing ground we use to detect who is passionate to work, irrespective of being paid or not. Not that we don't pay people. Please, when you record this, don't take it to media that we don't pay people. So not that we don't pay people, but the passion someone has gives me the credibility to understand that this person is eligible. Now, for someone out there who would love to be fished out by potential clients, potential people, I'm going to go back to my first point that I said that be authentic, just be you. Being you will enable you to meet a lot of important things. Then the second thing that I would love to say, tell people about your achievements in a nice way, in a very simple way, by putting out, for example. Now, a person like me, I have many, by the grace, I pray. By the grace of God, I've seen so many good days, at a very young age, because of my passion and how I'm doing things. Now, it is very easy for me to profile myself, even when you go to my social media, it's very easy for someone to just look at what I'm doing and see that, okay, this person deserves to be helped. Yesterday, I was interacting with some big person in government because of a program I want to do. And the person told me, she's a PS of one of the ministers, she told me that, Cedric, when I saw your tweet, I was so much inspired and I got interested in following because you have something important. Now, the same thing, you put it back to yourself. Freelancer. If you're a freelancer, you want to meet the needs of the clients. I mean, we have a lot of social media memes and all those kind of things that we post. There are people that will follow you on your Twitter or on your social media account to just understand who you are. Now, if you're someone who has value, you have the content, but then what you post doesn't even relate to who you are, there's a question there. Secondly, I would love to say that after putting out your achievement, okay, tell people what exactly you're good at. You cannot be good at everything. If you try to run after each and everything, you're learning front end development, you're doing back end, that's very good. But be mastered, master something. Now, the last point I would say about that is, what's your name? Innocent. Now, the question that I would ask everyone here, that I would want probably maybe if you know a friend here, you should interact with them, is if someone had to think about Innocent, when Innocent's name is mentioned, what would that person think about? Or what would that be? Now, if you're able to define that and understand that this is me, you're able to put yourself out well in the way you profile it, in the way you speak to people, and the way you put your content. Lastly, be consistent. Be consistent. When you're a developer, be consistent, even in what you post. Some of us have 2, 3 followers. That's okay. Now, if you want to build that profile and then put an image to people that this is who you are. For example, I love writing, I love tech. Those are the two big things in my heart. I make sure that the content that I'm putting out to people relate exactly to who I am. And then I make sure that time and again, I have a regular basis on which dates I put out this content. Let me say the last thing on that. I talked about this earlier on. This is my brand. It's a statement that leads me every single day. How many of you has watched a movie called Coco? Coco, that Mexican, yes. So the word I'm going to say is the word that says, seize your moment. Just turn to your neighbor, tell your neighbor, seize your moment. Now, that statement has been my principle since I was in senior 2. Now, seizing the moment simply means taking hold of every opportunity, chances, the time that you have. Use it as if there is no tomorrow. If you go to church to pray, you pray as if church is breaking down tomorrow. If you go to the mosque, pray. If you attend such events like this, do it with passion. That is why normally everywhere I go, all these events that we're attending today, I've been going for them every time and again. I remember my first year when I was in campus, 2018. I used to go online and Google which tech events are happening within Kampala City. Every weekend, ask my friends, where is the weekend plot, all those kind of stuff. I was always coming to these places. I remember I was in this place participating in a competition set by MTN, and we lost. We were number 10 out of 10 groups, and yes, guys, clap for my trial. I did it, and then being consistent helped me, because in 2021, when I kept trying, and every time there's application for any program or anything, I make sure I apply. And if you tell me that I should call you tomorrow at 10, I will call you at 10. If you don't pick my call the next day at 10, I'll call you. One of the ministers told me that, I love your solution. Please reach out to me tomorrow at 10. The guy did not pick my call up to now. It's now coming to 4 months. Yesterday, when I was talking to the PS of the same ministry, I told her, please, the minister told me to call here 3 months ago. It was, I think, November. But I've been calling this gentleman. The gentleman is not picking up my call. Then he says, you come next week, I'll take you to him to meet him. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. Yeah, so be consistent, and consistency go with being persistent. Those two will go hand in hand. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. So, following up on that, apart from somebody having to add their skills to their profile, should they tailor their profile to specific types of clients or projects, or should they have a general profile that covers all skills? That if somebody is looking to find this jack of all trades, they'll find him as he is, or does this jack of all trades have something they show a particular person?
To me, I think if you still don't know the best direction to go, it's good to be general. Because me, I write, I do speak in different places, I do write code. I also work with NGOs. We do some things, nodding syndrome. Now, all the things are the things that I do. But when I'm posting them, now since that I've understood already who I am, what I do, and where my focus is, I know exactly what to post. But for someone who is coming up, you don't know where and the best direction to go. In your field of maybe you're a developer, be free and post what you're good at, because I might be interested to hire a front-end developer. She might be interested to hire a back-end developer, but you're staying at home the whole day, you have nothing to do, you have both skills. It is very good, very important to let them know exactly all your skill sets so that they have a quality to choose from. When you now have a focus, and you know that this is my line of duty, get there. Focus, specialize, and perfect that skill, and you find that it gets better every day. Yeah.
Thank you. Many people lately, especially with the reign of NFTs and people seeking to work with unconventional workplaces, have started to neglect the need or the necessity of using their own images in their profiles. Yeah. So you could find a freelancer's profile and they have used this AI generated picture or this doctored image of themselves on their profile. But you find that some people might not be very happy about somebody who represents themselves as such. So from your point of view, how important is it to have a professional headshot and possible visual elements in your profile? If somebody is looking out for a person to carry out a task for them or a gig for them, how essential is this? Or is it something negligible?
Well, first of all, be authentic. Be you, just be you. Let people see who you are. I'm going to give an example on myself. I rarely use.
And to add to that,
Yes.
you find that when some people represent their truest selves, for example, we find people with disabilities representing that this is their truest representation. Some people do not want to work with these people. I think it's intentionally because they have to have accommodations to be able to work with these people. So some people choose not to have these images because they do not want to feed into that bias towards them. So does it carry the same thing for them?
Well, if you use things that is not real you, you're going to end up to disappointments. That's the first thing that I would say. Um, Before I introduce that, I was saying be authentic. I'm going to give an example of myself. I normally use pictures of myself or what I do to profile myself. If you want to move a bit higher, or if your intention is just to gain social media followers, in the sense that you are going to gain social media followers or people that you don't need in life. But the people you need in life, they would want to know the real you. Because you're going to have, for example, I'm going to have a picture of Jay-Z in my profile, and people will follow me because they have seen Jay-Z. And all these people who are following on social media, they just want to know what you're posting. They will never comment when you post something that I'm a front-end developer. If you need my services, please contact me on this. They will never comment. I saw a meme when a lady from Makerere, I think that was last year, she was, I think, the best in mathematics or something. I don't know, computer science. Yeah, she did really good in math, in some math thing. And then NTV posted that lady, and then there was no comment. So someone said that, how would you expect people to comment on such a lady who is so good in math? Like, she's so deep in mathematics. So people want things that will make them happy. So why am I saying this? For people who will actually get to follow you and understand the real you are the people you need. I'll say this to most of you who are maybe followed by many people. There are people in your life that you don't need them to succeed, but they need you to succeed. Process that. Does it make sense? Let me give an example. I really follow Elon Musk a lot. But do you think he needs me? No. Maybe, of course, I'll buy maybe whatever is Starlink or use his services. But Elon Musk doesn't need me to proceed to succeed. But I need him. Just like you. There's so many girls, by the way, let me appreciate you. There's so many ladies tell me good stuff about her, and I would love to have a picture with you before I leave this place. So there are people that she needs to succeed. Okay? There are people who needs her to succeed, but she doesn't need them. Doesn't even have to have the know about them. My point that I was driving to is like this. When you go to internet and you search for my name, Sedrick Otolo, you'll see a lot of information, endless pages about me. Simply because I am able to put myself out there, the real me, so people understand the real me. A couple of days ago, I had an interaction with a company called Ultrasound CPD. They're based in Netherlands. They needed us to work on their site. So when the person who got the contract told them about me, they had a bit of doubt. Then he says, the person also hyped a lot of things. He's like, this young man, you just trust me. This guy will do the work. This guy is going to, in fact, if you think I'm lying, you go to Google him. You Google him. You believe that he can do the work. The gentleman did the exact things the contractor told him. He went and Googled and started reading. And he called me and he says, Let's work together. People clap. First clap for me. I mean, it's not easy to get there. So all I'm trying to say, be you. Be the real you. Put your real self so that people get to have you. Now, you ask a very nice question about people with disabilities or stuff like that. Now, my viewpoint is, it is, for example, let's say, God forbid, let's say I'm missing one of my legs. I don't have to go and post the missing leg on social media. But if you put the real you there, it's going to be easier for you to work. For example, if you get the gig, to work with the person better than if you put a different you. How many of us watched the movie called Love Hard? That Netflix movie going on right now. Yeah, Collins has watched the movie. So be you because you're going to get disappointments. Once the person gets to meet you, you're a different person. You don't have the same hairstyle you had. You just not yourself. So just be you. Could be, someone is following you in media and they want to marry you, and then they see you and they're like, oh gosh, this is not the person I thought who she is. So
I see, I see. Thank you so much for that bit. So we have about 14 minutes to go. And that's being alive to that factor and that being out of the way. How can you use your profile to demonstrate professionalism, reliability, and commitment to client satisfaction? For example, not for example, let's just say you have a number of people you are with on this platform, for example, in Waape. But I want somebody, you as an employer, want somebody who is going to be dedicated to their work, deliver on time, and things of that kind. So how best can somebody represent that?
okay. So on your profile, it is very important to show your previous works that you've done. I'm going to give this example. I've done so many volunteering works that have not been paid for. And if you let money be your first goal as a freelancer, it's going to be hard for you because some of you or some of us might not exactly have a working, experience. For example, someone talked about I worked for 3 or 4 years. You might not have that, but find people that you can offer services to help you build your profile. For example, I can say I volunteered at Waape and as a front-end developer, and this is the work that I have done. And simplicity is very key. Don't complicate so many things. Don't complicate so many words when you try to profile yourself. If you can't profile yourself, get to a friend and just ask them a few simple questions. There are, I'm not going to talk about them, but there are 10 tips that I've talked about in my book, which is about self-evaluation, of understanding yourself. And one of it is get to your best friend and ask your best friend a question. What do you think I'm good at? Or who exactly do you think I am? Because when you're building that profile, it's going to help the employer to really easily understand that this is exactly who this person is. And then this person has actually worked together with such people. So attach in important work-related activities that you've done. Secondly, even the little work that you've done, you people know Git repository, you have your GitHub accounts. I don't know, are these all developers?
Not all of them.
Not all of them are developers. So, yes? Okay, probably maybe we have content creators, writers and everything. Just keep writing. Have a simple website. This is my simple site. That's is this screen okay?
Yeah, it is.
So this is my simple, page. Just simple logo about me, the services, who I am, what I do, and just very simple. So have somewhere where you put what you do because it's going to profile and add up to being the real you. If you are a writer, it's very cheap to afford these things. Hosting domain is only 50K a year. Hosting is about 100 and 200 a year. You can afford that. Someone might not use it now, but the truth of the matter is one day it's going to help you. My website has benefited me a lot. Right now that I'm, my book is out, that 2 weeks we shall be printing and releasing them out. I already have 200 pre-orders from my website, from the website. Thank you, Colin. Thank you. I love people who clap. I'm a pastor as well. So I already have 200 pre-orders simply because I have somewhere easily where people can access me. Now, assume that, please call me if you need my book. Who would call? Actually, no one has called me for my book, but everyone is using the text space. So, if you are a developer, have a GitHub profile. Put things there. Even if you're doing a very minor work, even if you're just editing a page of whatever, make sure you keep pushing. Because on GitHub, you're able to see that today, this is how the usability, how frequent someone is using the account. If you're a content writer or any other kind of work, find a free blogging sites. Have your information put there. Even if there is no one reading. People, at some point, it's going to pile up. That is how I started.
That's neat.
Yeah.
Kudos to you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
All right. I have quite a number of questions to go, but we have 4 minutes left. So I'm
Okay.
going to ask you one last question.
Cool.
Finally, what tips do you have for freelancers who are just starting to create their profiles or who want to improve their existing profiles?
Okay. Number one, you need to know what you're good at. There's what we call talent. There's what we call skills, and sometimes it's conflicting. So I want to say talent simply is the inherent ability for you to perform a function. The capacity that you have within you to perform something is your talent. We don't go to school to boost, to get our talents. We go to school to boost, to add more value to what we're talented to. And you can have a specific set of skills that you acquire. Skills are acquired. So, what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that find your niche. Find what you're good at. Secondly, have the capacity and be ready sometimes to work for free, to build your profile. We all need money. We all need everyday. How many of you are students? If you know you're a student, raise up your hand. Oh yeah, we have a number of students.
What if you're a student of life?
Student of life. How many of you are students of life? They're more. So we have students of life. Now, students of life right now, they need to be able, when you go back to your place, you need to be able to either buy Rolex and eat, right?
Yeah.
Yes, when you go back home, buy Rolex. So, as you volunteer, be knowing that everyone is counting on you. Your mother has sent you to school, she's counting on you. Everyone is counting on you. What I'm saying is very conflicting. There's volunteering and having the aspect of getting the money. So let me conclude that one point in single few statements that there are things that you volunteer to get this experience and to generate your profile. But there are things attach a cost. My godfather told me, even if you're working for an NGO, please, they need to pay you for your time, for your efforts. The NGO has money, it has resources. Even if you're doing any charitable work, there are things that you would say, I'm doing this for free. And of the little things that you do, one day it's going to pay you off. You're going to excel in it. Just keep doing it, members. Keep doing what you do, and people, the right people, will find you on your way. Lastly, on that, I give real examples because I don't want to share someone's life. I want to share. I grew up in an orphanage where we had because I lost my parents and when I was really little. So I grew up in this orphanage and they nurtured me a lot. I kept learning a lot of things and from the war victims in northern Uganda. I didn't face the war, but from other people faced war. They were child soldiers and other things. I kept learning a lot of things, and then on this day when this pastor called me and says that we have been following what you do, and remember I post my things on YouTube, like this video I'm going to post, I'm going to put it on YouTube, but even if no one likes it or watches it, I'm okay. I just want it to be there. Okay, so this guy calls and says we have been following what you're doing, and we would love you to come and share a few things with with us. And it's only 10 minutes, and they paid me 20K per minute. 20K. per minute.
In which currency?
That was in lira. That was in lira. That was in lira. Now, what I'm saying is, every little things that you do, just keep doing it. Keep writing that code. Keep finding opportunities and where best you can.
I get you.
You feel me, right?
I feel you.
Okay.
I dig.
Yes.
I dig. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Sedrick Otolo. A round of applause for him.
Let's say my last words.
Yes, please.
Let me stand. My